Hello guys, my name is Glurmit and welcome back to the channel. Today I am excited to be telling you guys that I just beat Reva. And yes, I did use a Galactic Legend, but I think there are going to be counters come out that don't include Galactic Legends, but the team wasn't that high investment outside of Rey herself. And the other thing is guys, it was as easy as anything. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you 3 battles. One is going to be against a traditional Reva Inquisitorius lineup. One which you're seeing now is going to be against just a standard Lord Vader lineup with Grand Inquisitor, Maul, Royal Guard and all of the fun there. And then the final battle I'm going to be showing you guys is actually against Lord Vader, Maul and Reva in that team as well. And honestly, the counter is not too hard. The only thing that at the moment is extremely high investment is going to be Zorii Bliss. You are going to need her at a decent relic level for this to work, and unfortunately you may not have access to her, but down the line you will. Again, I said before, she is a very early node to farm, so there's no reason why no one who is in that 6, 7, 8 million GP range cannot start farming her now. I think she's going to be a very important staple. Now some of you will say, but Glurmit, Zorii doesn't really have synergy with Rey, and that is true to an extent. So the way Zori's kit's going to work is she has 2 uniques and both of them have a Zeta, and the first one has an Omicron. Now the first unique will not activate in a Rey team because it's dependent on not having Rey present in the team. The second unique is going to be activating, and unfortunately against teams like Lord Vader it doesn't really do too much, and the reason being, what's going to happen is as soon as you go below 100% health, your unit, if they are a non-tank ally, will gain stealth and 100% turn meter. Now obviously against Lord Vader you're not going to be gaining turn meter unless your Rey outspeeds their Lord Vader. So if that's the case, this would be insane. If not, you're going to be seeing what you see here, where you gain the stealth but you just don't ever gain the turn meter because of the daisies Lord Vader implies. Now the second part is actually going to be that when you're stealthed you also gain small bonuses, and it's just really nice, and the team works amazingly well. Now what's the other thing that makes this team especially good against Lord Vader is that Zorii actually has a cleanse on her first special and Finn has a cleanse on his assist. This brings you to 2 cleanses in the team, and you can balance them out and the dots will never really kill you. Now some of you may look at this team and say this is a really weird lineup. Firstly, why is R2 there? And secondly, where's the tank? Glurmit, where's the tank? Well, my answer to you guys is you don't actually need a tank. The way this team kind of works, you can see this is an auto, so this is just the AI doing its own thing, but if you're manually playing, you can make it so you're always stealthing everyone except Ben. Ben cannot stealth from Zori's unique, and the reason being Zori's unique only triggers for smugglers and resistance. So there's no chance of stealthing there, and the second is you can re-stealth on Ben with R2 and then everyone stealths but him. And we all know from Ben's unique, even outside of Grand Arena, obviously he revives there, but outside he's not going to, but outside of Grand Arena, Ben cannot die while Rey's above 50% health. So what happens is you just have a tank that cannot die. And if you have the Datacron, which I do on Zorii, this isn't dependent for the wins here. What's going to happen is when stealth is dispelled, you gain a bonus turn. And the bonus turn will basically work even if they do have Hux, if it's SLKR, or if they have the days, the bonus turn will still come through. So if for that reason, you just have a infinite meat bag who can just be hit as much as you want. There is no chance Ben's ever going to die. And yeah, it's just completely ridiculous. Now some of you will be saying, hey Glurmit, what relic levels do you need? Well, currently I'm using R7 on Zorii because I'm using a Datacron. I'm using R7 on Finn, R7 on R2D2, R5 on Ben, and R9 on Rey. I'm going up against Relic 8 and Relic 9 teams with very good Datacrons themselves, but you do not need extremely high relics. I'd say if you have everyone at R7, that's fine. But honestly, it's just a really nice team. You can see that you're more or less max bannering Lord Vader here as he gets 1 tapped. Now, moving on to the next battle, and the one you guys are probably clicking on this video to watch, and that is Rey against Reva Inquisitors. And you can see it gets a little bit scary in the opening couple of seconds because everything just goes crazy. But because you have Zorii, the second anyone drops below 100% health, you are gaining 100% turn meter. So you can swap the team turn to Rey. Rey can then pass the lifeblood. I do it on Ben just because of the damage, but then Rey's going to gain another turn. And then Rey takes that turn, and I for a second thought about lifeblooding again, but then I was like, let's just send it. Because Reva gains so much turn meter whenever you gain turn meter that you just gain so much mastery, and yeah, it's as easy as that, guys. There's not really a lot else to say about this one. there's no chance Reva ever wins. And part of it is because of Zorii. giving stealth and Zori giving turn meter, because it allows you to set Rey up very, very early on. What you don't want to happen is for Reva to basically burn through all of your health and have everyone in damage immunity and then to deathmark people. And if that happens, you're going to be in such a bad situation. But as you see here, the game is bugging out, we're doing so much damage. Rey's mastery is through the roof at this point, because of all that passive gaining that they've had. I mean, look how much damage a basic is doing here. And honestly, it's just such an easy counter. It depends, guys. Do you want to be using a Galactic Legend against this team? If you do, then Rey is a solution. But some of you may not have Rey, or some of you may not want to use a Galactic Legend. And if you want to see an answer to that, unfortunately, I just haven't worked it out just yet. I am currently, and still am, working on counters to Reva without using Galactic Legends. But right now, this is probably going to be one of the easiest counters you can do. Would it work with a low geared Zori? That I can't answer. Unfortunately, my Zori was already R7 when I started seeing Revas in my shard, so we'll have to see down the line. I would say possibly, but that's down to you guys to test. And now into the final battle. This is Lord Vader with Reva. I don't know why you'd ever run this, but clearly it's a squad arena thing, so I thought I may as well show you. And I did exactly what I did in the first battle. I just chucked it on full auto, guys. Now in this one, the AI was a little bit weird, so because Finn went down to such a low health threshold here, he actually got damage immunity. And because of that, he was also had the buff immunity. He couldn't gain the stealth, so he didn't really gain much here. But here's the thing, guys. R2 started stealthing Finn. And I didn't really like this, because you want Ben to be the one that's stealthed. So the way the AI is going to work on defense and just in general is if Ben is the one who is not stealthed and everyone else is, R2 will stealth on Ben and keep him the one who's not stealthed. But if you get into a situation like this, where someone else is the one who's not under stealth, R2 will stealth them instead. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, because as you saw here, Finn had damage immunity, he was still fulfilling the same role. But what you'll see is throughout the battle, Finn actually died, so this isn't the best banners. Again, I don't know why you would ever see this team in Grand Arena, but it works still very, very well. And the nice thing I want to take away from this is that this team, not only does it beat Reva, but it's beating Lord Vader. And we all know from the last year or so that Lord Vader is just such a consistent Rey counter. And honestly, he doesn't really do a lot here. Yes, you have the debuffs, but you have the 2 cleanses. Right now we have 1. Yes, Zori is losing out on her first unique, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference, guys. This team is insane. I've told you guys countless amounts of times, you need to be farming Zori, and if you have Rey, there's even more of a reason to do so. Would I use Zori in this team 100% of the time instead of running her with the other resistance? No, I wouldn't. But if you know your opponent's going to set Reva, or if you know that your opponent is just going to do certain things, then I would say use Rey in this lineup, and Zori as well. Honestly, guys, it's down to you to work out where you're going to use Zori. Just make sure you farm her. She's a very early node, she's not hard to get, and enjoy beating Lord Vader, and enjoy beating the mighty Reva. If you guys enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. My name is Glurmit, and as always, I hope you all have a glurmin